There she is. Can you take a picture? I'm gonna sit my wall.
Terrain sailing, jib only, on way to York River, Yacht Haven.
Yay!
Just left Zimmerman about 20-30 minutes ago. Was awoken around 7 a.m. The guys are going to help put the head sail on, and then they ultimately had to go up the mast and help feed the line through the pulley. So it took a little bit of time to get out of there, but it was pretty non-eventful actually. Getting out of there was actually not as hard as I was anticipating. Made the turn to go up York River entrance, and we have about 25 knots of wind, making about 5 knots, 5.8, 6 knots. So we woke up around 7 this morning. We were anchored out there, right about there, in front of, or there's a smaller catamaran in front of that larger one, and we're right in front of there, in front of that house over there with the flag. The marine opens around 9, and we called them, and they were they got us right in, and had a helper actually, but the winds were pretty benign. So we're gonna wait it out here until at least Sunday night, perhaps Monday. Depends on the weather window and when we can get around Hatteras. The marina is pretty nice. Just took, oh yeah, and around 11:30 we departed here actually, and went across to Yorktown, because unfortunately the pump out facilities here are broken, and I guess have been broken for about 2 months, which really kind of is crappy, no pun intended. And so we motored across. It was about a 15-20 minute motor across the river. So I bought one of these Daewoo Mini washing machines. Had it ordered from Australia because all other ones are in Korean or in another language. This is supposed to be in English. And I heard that others had mounted it on the inside of the master head. So I'm trying to figure out exactly how to get it level, and this is what I've come up with thus far, and hopefully I will not be running into anything on either side, and we'll have a straight shot through. So the holes are aligned, and they look like they're in the right spot, but I am not super confident about the thickness of the fiberglass bulkhead that I'm bolted into. So I'm thinking that I might have to, well, it's pretty close against it. It really couldn't have been any closer. But I don't think that's really going to do anything, because I think there's a little bit of a pocket between the cosmetic wood and the fiberglass bulkhead that I think if I get the fiber, or get the epoxy thickened enough, I can squeeze it in there, and it won't, and it'll squeeze out, and then I can re-drill. Alright, probably could have moved it out maybe another 1/8 of an inch or so. I think I'm was running into the sidewall a little bit, unfortunately. But it's not too bad, and nobody's going to be able to see it anyway. And all the rubber feet are in. It seems like that there is a pretty good amount of thread on all the bolts. Cover bolted in place, screwed in place. There's 4 screws.
In Williamsburg, Virginia.
A basket of wood. Do you think they set that on fire? I bet you they do.
Oh, nice.
Dude, I don't know how the hell that boat is pushing that thing. Really doesn't seem like that should be safe. We're going to be leaving tomorrow morning, hopefully. The captain and the first mate that's going to help us around Hatteras is going to be here this afternoon. Where are we, Shreen?
Off the coast of North Carolina.
Where approximately?
We left this morning from York River. Right now we're directly east of Elizabeth City.
And it is almost 1:45.
We should be at Lookout Point Bay?
Cape Lookout?
Cape Lookout?
I don't know.
At looks like around 2:30 tomorrow afternoon.
We're about 68 nautical miles from Diamond Shoals buoy. It is 4:51 and the sun's about to go down. And I'm on shift from 4 to 8.
Video when I ask you to send me a picture so I can add to my Facebook.
Why not?
You send me a picture of us.
Shreen's stomach trumps all else. Right, Shreen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
I left the hose out because for some reason or another I'm out there and down comes another air raid.
This is where we're going.
Where are we going?
We're going to the Blue Moon Bistro.
Oh, what do they got?
Oh.
You know, how'd you select them?
Wine coffee shop. Beaufort.
17:30. Amazing, huh? Alright, so it is, geez, what time is it?
Unrecord that.
Why?
Delete that.
We don't have to delete it. We can edit it later. It is Sunday. What day is it?
November 20th.
Sunday. It's Sunday, November 20th. And we have finally made the decision to go get a rental car tomorrow and head off out of Beaufort, North Carolina, so that we can go down to Sarasota and meet up with our pod, which is meeting to our house that we had purchased down there.
On the 28th.
On the 28th, because unfortunately we haven't had the weather window. We don't have a weather window in order to get down to Fort Lauderdale by November 28th. So it's a little bit frustrating. So we've been officially out of our house in San Jose for six weeks now, and living out of Airbnbs and hotels and visiting folks, and I think we've been living on the boat now for 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So we prepared the boat in Matthews, Virginia, and then we waited for a wet. We had high winds one day, and they're like, well, we'll put you in the water and you gotta go. And Mike's like, we gotta go.
No.
And then Steve said,
Steve's like, well, what's your plan? I'm like, well, I was about to ask you the same thing. What is my plan? He goes, well, we're going to drop you in the water tomorrow, and then we'd like to see you go. I'm like, well, the weather is not great.
Because Nicole was coming up.
And so, anyway, long story short, he ultimately came back and said we could stay the night, which was great, actually. Really
Sure, and
helpful.
kind of waited for a weather window. Hurricane Nicole was coming up the coast, and we didn't know how fast or slow she was going to come up. So 8 days later, we get the thumbs up from Captain Joe, because we hired Captain Joe to help us maneuver around Cape Hatteras.
For the first time.
Because it was our first time.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. It was... We've heard grueling stories about getting around Cape Hatteras, so we wanted to make sure we were safe. So Wednesday morning, Captain Scott and First Mate Tom arrive, and they give us the plan of what we're going to do the next morning, and we leave at 5 a.m.
Yep.
I just know we went around Cape Hatteras at 1 a.m. in the morning. And then as soon as we made the turn around the Cape, we hit the Gulf Stream on the nose. And while one was like shaking and boom, 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 and it was loud and terrifying. And First Mate Tom and Captain Scott were calm as could be and weren't worried at all, and they said not to worry, and this was only going to last another hour. So 2 hours later, we were back into smooth following waves. It was good. When we first got here, we were really excited because it looked like there was a 4-day weather window to make it south. So we thought, oh, we can even not only make it to Charleston, we can make it to St. Mary's, which is super close to Florida. So we're so close to getting to Fort Lauderdale. Super excited about it. And then within 6 hours, the weather window changed, and we couldn't leave today. And we can't leave tomorrow. The weather...
Well, we could leave tomorrow, but we can't find... But we can't go on much further beyond Charleston, unfortunately. So that means we're going to have to lay the boat up, because we need to get back to Sarasota for the week of the 28th to have our stuff delivered. and everything else that's going on there. So we'd have to have, I'm not comfortable enough leaving the boat on the hook unattended, so we need to have a marina. Unfortunately, we can't get a marina over the Thanksgiving break
In St. Charles, in Charleston.
So then we kept looking. We were able to find something up in Georgetown. But then as we started looking at the logistics of Georgetown and what it was actually going to buy us, I think we ultimately decided that it's best that we stay here.
So Mother Nature won this battle, but not the war. We are still going to, our plan now is to pick up Well 1 in Fort Lauderdale after solar's installed and sail to Bimini. And that's where we want to start our Bahamas winter. And we're going to be in Bimini for a while. So that is our next plan for Well 1.